Hello everyone, welcome back to Tutorial Frenzy and we're back with another video. Today, this would be Scratch Basics episode 4 and I'll be teaching you all more about event blocks and message receiving, more about cloning, sensing, and operators. So let's get straight into the content. First up, I'll be teaching you all more about event blocks. Okay, so I'll create a new sprite here. Who is this? Cassie Dance. Okay, I guess. Okay. So for event blocks, it would obviously be here in the event section. Okay, so first up we have the when flag clicks block. Now we already talked about this earlier in the early episodes of Scratch Basics. So if you haven't seen those, just go watch them after this video maybe. And then we have the when space key pressed block. This event. So what this does is basically like when the space key is pressed, a line of code would run like attached. The line of code should be attached below this event block. So it can be any key, pretty much. Be up, down, right, left arrows, any keys, or A, B, C, D, E, F, G to Z, and 1 to 9. These numbers. Okay, it can be like this. And then we also have when this sprite clicked. Okay, when this sprite clicked, for example, in this case, Casey, when Casey is clicked, he or she would do something, like a line of code would run for the sprite. Next up, we also have when backdrop switches to something. So this is, so this event block will be triggered when the backdrop is changed. Okay. So for example, if the backdrop changes from bedroom 3 to underwater, which is actually blank background, let's make Casey move 10 steps. So now when we change the backdrop, wait, okay. Oh yeah, it's only when the backdrop changes to underwater 1. So when the backdrop changes to underwater 1, let's actually make it 100. Okay, when the backdrop changes to underwater 1. Now I'm not sure why it's not working, but if I just click this block, yeah, because it's underwater 1, so she moves 100 steps. Okay, so that's basically what it does. Perhaps it, no, oh no, I'm not sure actually. Okay, so next up we have when loudness is larger than 10. Okay, and a line of code would run. And then we have the message receiving and message broadcasting blocks. So, okay, so actually before I talk about message receiving and message broadcasting, for only backdrops, we have this when stage is clicked, which is when the stage is clicked. A line of code would run. For example, I guess, let's say we switch backdrop to bedroom 3. So as you can see, when we click the stage, the backdrop changes to bedroom 3. Okay, so now let's get straight into receiving messages. Actually, let's find another sprite for this. Okay, let's just get a mouse. Yep, okay. Okay, so basically, let's say when the flag block is clicked, Casey would broadcast message 1. You can actually change the message name like by clicking new message and name it. Actually, let's name the message hello. Okay, when Casey broadcasts the hello message, basically whoever has the event block receiving that message, in this case hello, would do something. For example, when the mouse one receives hello, this message, only this message, a line of code would run. For example, maybe it would move 30 steps, which is basically, I guess, the mouse wants to escape. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, when I press the flag button, the Casey would broadcast the message, and therefore the mouse who is supposed to receive the message would move 30 steps every time. This would also work for multiple sprites receiving message, and even the backdrop can receive messages too. Yep, so multiple sprites can also use this, and this is quite useful for coding. So after talking about event blocks and message receiving, let me talk about cloning. So cloning is basically under the control category. Let's use Casey again. So we have here, let's say when the flag block is clicked, Casey would create clone of myself. She can also actually create clones of anything else, but let's say in this case, she would create a clone of herself. So basically, let's say she wants to create a clone of herself. So the clone actually disappears at the start of each round. Yes, okay. So the clone would only be here for like until it is deleted or when the flag block is clicked again. So as you can see, the clone is exactly the same as Casey here. So we can drag the clone around, and we can also tell the clone to do stuff. When I start as a clone, this is a special event block, I would say. When I start as a clone, let's say we'll tell the clone to glide 1 second to random position. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the clone has glided for 1 second to a random position. So if we want to delete this clone, we can delete this clone by using this block. Let's say after 1 second of gliding, and then the clone of Casey would wait 1 second until it is deleted. 1 second, and then it's gone. Nice. Okay. So you can actually also create multiple clones, which can be used, for example, for firing projectiles in a game, in a shooting game, I suppose. Yep, and cloning is a very useful feature for games too, I suppose. And next up, we have sensing. For sensing, it falls under the sensing category here. So there's a bunch, so they're pretty straightforward. So sensing can be used, for example, in, I guess, if then statements. It fits. Okay, so we can tell, for example, I guess, if we can tell Casey if she's touching mouse pointer, then she would move 20 steps. Okay, let's actually repeat this forever. So so she would basically be sensing forever. Yeah, okay. And it works. As you can see, after if she's touching mouse pointer, she would move 20 steps. This is also the case for touching colors, and if the color is touching something else, I guess. There's also this block under sensing. What's your name? For example, you can change it to any question. And if you say like, I don't know, like Jack or something, then the answer can be stored and used for something else. For example, you want the username. And then we also have if something is pressed, like if the sensing block of key space pressed. This can be used for like if then statements, mouse down, mouse X, and mouse Y. These can be used to get info. Set drag mode to draggable. We can set the sprite to not draggable. So okay. You can set the sprite to not be able to be dragged. We have also have the timer function. I might touch upon that like later on in the Scratch Basic series, and the other stuff are not really that important for now. And last but not least, we have operators. Operators, I've talked about a bit about this in the last episode, Scratch Basics lesson 3, Scratch Basics episode 3. And so operators can be used in if then statements, and we can do basic arithmetic with it, pick random numbers. So yeah, we can pick random numbers and compare values. These are basically also for logic purposes, and these can be very useful in basically everything in coding because logic is very important. We can also track the length of words and join words and join stuff. So for example, let me give you an example. So for example, okay, I'll set a variable. Let's make a variable called score. Okay, I'll talk about variables in the next Scratch Basics episode 5. So stay tuned for that. So let's set my variable to 5. For now, you can just think of my variable as something that stores something. So let's say the variable. Let's do a condition of this. So if my variable, wait, no, it should be set. So let's set the score to 5. So we can do something like this. If score, which should be 5 right now, times 3, which is 15, is larger than 10, which 5 times 3 should be 15 and is larger than 10, then we can do something. This statement should be true right here, so the if then statement should work. Then let's say Casey would say hello. Yes, okay, as you can see, she said hello, and this is just one of many uses of operators. So that is basically all for today. I've taught you how to more about event blocks and message receiving, and I've also talked about cloning, sensing, and a bit about operators. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe to Tutorial Frenzy, and stay tuned for the next episode of Scratch Basics, which should be lesson 5. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.